Wait, Nancy, wait, let me finish. I've been secretly bailing and fuming with this grand inspiration for weeks, and I must talk or I'll burst. I haven't whispered to a soul, not a word. Have had any of my continents under lock and key, for feared might drop something that would tell even these animals here how to discern the gold mine that's been glaring under their noses. Now all that is necessary to hold this land and to keep it in the family is to pay the trifling taxes on it yearly, $5 or $10. The whole tract would not sell for over a third of a cent an acre now, but someday people would be glad to get it for $20, $50, $100 an acre. What should you say to $1,000 an acre? Well, you may open your eyes and stare, but it's so. You and I may not see the day, but they'll see it. Mind I tell you, they'll see it, Nancy. You heard of steamboats, and maybe you believed in them. Of course you did. You've heard these cattle here scoff at them and call them lies and humbugs. But they're not lies and humbugs. They're reality, and they're going to be more wonderful things someday than they are now. They're going to make a revolution in this world's affairs that will make men dizzy to contemplate. I've been watching while some people slept, and I know what's coming. Even you and I will see a day that steamboats will come up that little Turkey River to within 20 miles of this land of ours, and in high water they'll come right to it. And this is not all, Nancy. It isn't even half. There's a bigger wonder, the railroad. These worms here have never even heard of it, and when they do, they'll not believe in it. But it's another fact. Coaches that fly over the ground 20 miles an hour. Heavens and earth. Think of that, Nancy. 20 miles an hour. It makes a man's brain whirl. Someday, when you and I are on our graves, there'll be a railroad stretching hundreds of miles all the way from the cities of the northern states to New Orleans. And it's got to run within 30 miles of this land, maybe even touch a corner of it. Well, do you know, they've quit burning wood in some places in the eastern states. And what do you suppose they burn? Coal! There's worlds of it on this land. You know that black stuff that crops out of the bank in the breach? Well, that's it. You've taken it for rocks, so has everybody here. And they've built little dams and such things with it. One man was gonna build a chimney out of it. Nancy, I expect I turned as white as a sheet. Why, it might have caught fire and told everything. I showed him it was too crumbly. Then he was gonna have to build it out of copper ore, splendid yellow 40% ore. There's fortunes upon fortunes of copper ore in our land. It scared me to death, the idea of this fool starting smelting furnace in his house without knowing it, and getting his dull eyes open. And then he was gonna build it out of ore. There's mountains of iron ore here, Nancy, whole mountains of it. I wouldn't take any chance. I just stuck by him. I haunted him. I never let him alone till he built it out of mud and sticks like the rest of the chimneys in this dismal country. Pine forest, wheatland, cortland, iron, copper, coal. Wait till the railroads come and the steamboats. We'll never see the day, Nancy, never in the world. Never, 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 child. We've got to drag along and eat crust and toil and poverty and all hopeless and forlorn, but our children, they'll ride in coaches, Nancy. They'll live like the princes of earth. They'll be courted and worshipped. Their names will be known from ocean to ocean. And one day, they'll come back here on the railroad and the steamboat and say, "This one little spot shall never be touched. This hovel shall be sacred, for here our father and our mother suffered for us, thought for us, laid the foundations of our future as solid as the hills."